Good morning, children. Hope you are all good. And this morning, we are going to talk about aquatic plants. Before that, let us recall. Okay. In our last class, we learned about terrestrial plants, isn't it? Okay. Now, answer my questions. What is meant by habitat? Once again, I'll repeat the question. What is meant by habitat? Yes, habitat means surroundings. And what is adaptation? Adaptation means plants make some changes in themselves to adjust their surroundings or habitat is called adaptation. And what are terrestrial plants? Plants that grows in land, mountain, desert and in marshy areas are called terrestrial plants. Depending upon their habitat, the plants are divided into two groups. What are they? Yes, terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. In that, we learn about terrestrial plants. So, now we are going to learn about the aquatic plants, insectivorous plants, and useful plants. Let us see what are aquatic plants. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Once again, I'll repeat. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Can anyone give an example? Yes, lotus and lily. Very good, children. In this, aquatic plants are of three types. 1. Floating plants. 2. Fixed plants. 3. Submerged or underwater plants. Now, the first one. Floating plants. Have you ever seen some plants floating in the pond, lake, or river? Yes, the plant like water hyacinth and duckweed can float freely in water. These plants are not fixed in the soil. They float freely on water, and the stems and leaves of these plants are light and spongy. This helps the plants float freely on water. Second one, fixed plants. Do you know which is our national flower? Yes, lotus. Lotus is our national flower. It is so bright and beautiful, isn't it? The lotus is a water plant and it grows only in water. Do you wonder why they don't break when the water current is so strong? This is because stem of these plants are very flexible. So they can bend with the flow of water and don't get damaged by strong current. These plants have their roots fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. They have a long, hollow and flexible stem reach the surface of the water. The leaves are broad and flat, which helps them to float on water. The leaves are covered with a waxy coating. It prevents the leaves from rotting. The leaves have small pores called stomata only on the upper surface, so that the water does not block the pores. And the third one is submerged or underwater plants. The tape grass, pondweed, and hydrilla are examples of underwater plants. These plants grow completely underwater and are not visible above the surface of water. The roots are fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. They have narrow leaves to withstand, and the leaves do not have any stomata. These plants breathe through their body surface. Insectivorous plants. Believe it or not, there are some plants that eat insects too, like pitcher plant and flytrap. Why do they eat insects? The soil where they grow is deficiency, means insufficient in minerals. So, these plants trap insects to fulfill the requirement of minerals. And the last one, useful plants. Plants gives us food, but it's also useful to us in many other ways. Almost everything we use in our daily life are made from plants or their products. Tell me something that we get from plants. Yes, children, we get fruits, vegetables, pulses, cereals, nuts, sugar, oil, spices, tea, coffee, etc. Medicines are taken from plants like eucalyptus, cinchona, neem, etc. Cloths, carpets, sacks from plant fibers like cotton and jute. Furniture like doors, windows, etc. These are obtained from the woods of teak, saw, etc. Paper from bamboo plants. Rubber for tires from rubber plants. Coconut oil, fruit, coconut water from coconut plant. Gums from the juices of acacia. Soaps and shampoos from vegetable oils are obtained from plants. And now, I'll repeat once again. Depending upon the adaptation, the plants are divided into two groups. 1. Terrestrial plants and 2. Aquatic plants. Terrestrial plants have 7 types of plants. 1. Plants on mountain. 2. Plants on plain. 3. Plants in desert. 4. Plants in areas of heavy rainfall. 5. Plants in marshy land. 6. Plants on sea coast. 7. Non-green plants. And the aquatic plants have 3 groups. 1. Free-floating plants. 2. Submerged or underwater plants. 3. Fixed plants. And beside this, we learnt about insectivorous plants and useful plants. Now, I am going to give the answers for your last worksheet. Check your answers with me, children. Choose the correct. In desert plants, the main function of the stem is answer B. To reduce loss of water. Plants growing on mountains or cold regions are generally answer B. Tall and straight. 3. Trees growing in plains have answer lots of branches and leaves. 4. The non-green plants do not contain answer D. Chlorophyll. 5. The trees growing in marshy or swampy areas are called answer A. Mangroves. Match the following. Pine, mountain plant, mango, plain plant, cactus, desert plant, mangrove, marshy plant, mushroom, parasitic plant. Thank you, children.